She opened her eyes after long journey. She had fallen asleep in 4 hours back due to travel sickness and tears. She knew this was a big decision that she had taken. Her parents and all siblings already left the Paris. But she was coming back to Paris. She had promised herself that this would be her last attempt to save the relationship. War is the obstacle. But he is more important to her than anything else. She had made a decision of visiting him despite the issues. She wanted him in her life at any cost. She reached the railway station in the morning, then to the hotel. She wore his favorite winter cloth and his favorite perfume in the evening. It was a very cold day on month of April in 1940 in Paris, so she wore the wool gloves in hands and put scarf on her neck. She dressed up just the way he liked her. One last time, she thought. She got this tough decision not considering even her life. She left to meet him. She called him by a telephone booth. He answered. They decided to meet for coffee shop. She spotted him on her way to the coffee shop. She called him. They met. No hugs, no kisses. Just a plain, hello, with a broken smile. They walked together. The beauty of every moment they spent together had disappeared. She had asked the coffee shop waiter to reserve their favorite coffee table for them and had pre-ordered their favorites. Their eyes met for the first time after months. She had the same sparkle in her eyes. Sadly, he seemed distant. They spoke about him, army, friends, soccer, German invasion and life. He did not inquire about her. She felt the distance. He was about to leave but she wanted to extend the date. She asked him for a walk. He nodded, yes. They went to the city park. She wanted to flaunt him. He seemed lost. She got the hint. They saw lots of people say goodbye to each others. Lots of men were in army uniforms. Most of the ladies were hugging their loved ones and crying on their shoulders. There were some foreign couples also, and they talking to each others in Rush. She did not understand the languages. He took all the pains to translate to her. She felt the closeness. She held his hand. She was shattered. Her heart was broken into a million pieces. They went to a bench and sat on it. She didn't want to pass this time. She wanted to stop the world right there forever. Then war will never come and she was able to stay on his arms forever. Now at almost around 6 p.m. He asked her for a dinner. So she delighted. They went to their favorite restaurant in the Paris. They placed the same order as they always did, Chateau Latour, wine with bacon sandwich. He didn't want to say anything rather than eating. Background music was Edith Piaf's Sous le Ciel de Paris. He looked into her eyes, and tried to say something. You know this is not going to work out. You should have thought about this before traveling so far to visit me. Look my darling, war is just going to imminent. Here is not any safe a girl like you. I love you, more than my life, why don't you come with me? I know and I love you too. But it is my duty to stay here when the war begin. You will die, I can't hold my breath anymore, oh God please help me, she cried like a child. Her heart broke. All he said was, this is the last time we have met. He did this for her. He did this because he knew she would suffer the most if this relationship continued. But he had no alternative than breaking up with her. She cried and cried for rivers. He knew he had lost a big piece of his heart that day. He knew she would make his life more beautiful. But he had no choice. War is going to ruin everyone's life in the world. Then they left the restaurant. He volunteered to drop her to the railway station after the dinner. It was a long walk. While they walked she leaned on his body as much as she can. It was late at night and the roads were empty. Night was so freezing. Number of policemen were going here and there almost everywhere in Paris. The road was lit by the street lamp alone. She wanted life to stop there. She held him tight at once and cried. Then she felt this would be their last walk together. They reached the railway station. Everything had gone well but she knew this was not enough to stay with him. She stood quiet and waited for him to speak. He spoke. I don't know whether I survived the war or not but I wanted you to survive. That's why I asked you to move from Paris. But, I don't want to live without you, my love. He didn't speak anything and hugged her for last time and kissed her trembling lips. Then she walked to the train with a heavy head once again. Train was full packed for leaving. She got into the train and disappeared in the crowd. He was there until train blow the last whistle for leaving.